Hey, Baba. Are you doing a podcast?
What are we having? What is this called?
Passion fruit cooler. Yeah.
Was it vodka?
With alcohol.
I was. Yeah, I didn't
I
didn't
don't
really
really
read
care.
the ingredients, but cheers.
Cheers.
Passion fruit cooler.
With potentially vodka.
Probably vodka.
Probably vodka.
Oh my god, this child. This is what it is to do a
Motherhood.
podcast with your kid. Cheers.
Cheers.
At least let me have a sip, Haley.
You can have one sip and then Haley will interrupt. Stunning.
That is really good. Where are we? We're in our hometown. We both don't live in South Africa, but we are at Cabo Beach.
The best place on earth.
Yeah.
Cape
Cape Town really is,
It
hey?
is, yeah.
But I just don't know to live.
Yeah, I think in a perfect world, I'd be rich enough to live in Australia, but then come here every
Like 6
December.
months out of the
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
I've had that
Or
conversation
every single
as
December
well.
because December just hits different in Cape Town, I think.
You know what? I think I say it's a lifestyle. Like,
Mm.
what do they call it? K December. I'm really not even
Oh
saying
yeah,
it,
I did
right?
see that somewhere and I was like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, there's like a whole accent and everything around it. Okay.
It just explains the vibe.
Yeah.
Which you just
So-
can't explain until you come here.
Yeah, it does hit different. And also I just feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just South Africans. I just feel like people are much nicer.
They
and
are.
friendlier.
Everyone has said that to me, especially like being in Sydney. Everyone says that Sydney people are so rude because it's just so busy. It's like they're just non-stop. Whereas
Yeah.
in South Africa and especially in Cape Town, like everyone has come up to Brittany,
Yeah.
my sister, and said how cute Amara is, her baby.
Yeah. Even
I
like
don't
people with
think they do
Haley,
that.
like if she's moody, they'll be like, "Come here," and I'm just like, "Stranger danger."
Yeah.
Please don't hold my child. But I think like it's just our personality. Like we always say, like it takes a village to
Yeah.
raise a kid,
Mm.
and I think like with our yes, it means our family, but I guess it's just the way that we are brought up.
Yeah,
like, just,
especially because like your friends then become your family, so it's not just your family.
Yeah.
It's everyone that's in your
that's
circle.
what makes
that
it so
helps.
difficult to like leave after being here. It's because she attaches to everybody like that's not family so well, and like she doesn't really have that bond with my friends in the US like that. So that's a little bit of adjustment.
When your mum moves, I think that was just seagull poo. That's okay. From some of this. Yeah. It's
Good luck.
When your
You're gonna
mum
go
moves,
viral.
how often do you think you'll come back here?
I don't know, because after this year I think we're looking at like maybe every 2-3 years. It's just too far. Like it's too far, and again, like I have the ability to work from here, which is nice because I don't use vacation time. But then like my better half can't come because we travel so much and we want to use our time like for
To go somewhere
houses.
new.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But why do we have Tammy on the show? So why do we have Tammy? So Tammy was on season 9 of the Bachelor Australia with Jimmy.
Jimmy Nicholson.
Yes, that's the one. But before
Jimmy.
we get into it,
Shut up.
where was I?
So
how do I know Tammy? Okay, so Tammy is my best friend. So like I'm backlash about this because like I do have a lot of best friends, but when I
you
throw
use
the
that
word-
term very
when I
nonchalantly.
do throw it out there to people who are best friends, that it just means like I would go a little beyond normal expectations compared to normal friends. But when we refer to Brittany, which is Tammy's sister, she is top tier best friend, and she will let everybody know that as well. And so Tammy's her younger sister. Okay, so Tammy, so we met. I think I was 13. I must have been 13.
When
were
did you come
starting high
to-
school? No. Yeah, because I met Brittany. No, you were in your last year when we met. So you
Of
must
grade
have been
7.
12, and I was going on to 14. Because we're 2 years apart.
We're 2 years apart.
Yeah. So,
But what grade were you in when you became friends with Brittany?
grade 9.
Grade 9.
Yeah.
So I would have been in grade 8, 7, 6, 7.
7. So 2, yeah.
Seven, yeah,
seven,
okay.
yeah.
So really face to face, we've only known each other for like a year and a half.
That's
Like,
so
and then
crazy,
we
but we
moved.
know each other for over 17 years.
Yeah.
That's actually
Crazy.
wild that I still
Crazy.
like her.
sometimes. Me and Jamie used to clash because we're both very similar personalities. I think
Yes.
you and Brittany work really well because Brittany's very laid back, more quiet.
Yes, that is
Whereas
true.
I'm
The loud one.
Yeah, I'm
To be
the loud
fair,
one.
like if anybody ever messed with me, and you know, like you just generally call your best friend, I would not call Brittany in that situation.
No,
like I'd
definitely
be
not.
calling
I
my
call
best friend's
you.
sister.
I would call you, definitely. I think that's why Brittany became friends with you. She's like,
she's
now I
like,
know.
my bodyguard.
I've got a bodyguard for life.
And it was so weird how we became friends because we're complete opposite.
Mm.
And I am the disruptive person in the class, and Brittany's like the studious teacher's pet.
Very smart.
So
too.
at first, I will say Brittany was probably like, "Who the fuck is this girl?" And then she was like, "Well, we kind of love her, so she can stick around."
Mm.
I think I was her charity case, and she fell in love with it.
Also, Jamie got, apparently this is what they keep telling us, is Jamie got kicked out of her class.
No, I did.
Yeah.
So,
and then got
actually-
moved to Brittany's class.
And it's funny because Brittany's friend Kimberly
Mm.
is the one who ratted me out, or like students in the class have to come
it
together.
was everyone. It was the whole class.
Yeah, I think so.
It was a joint
Because
decision.
for the first 2 years of high school, you don't move classes.
Mm.
You only started moving from year 10 to 12.
Mm.
And you only got moved if you were like not working in the class or whatever. So, you know what, guys?
Which was Jamie.
It's fine. You know,
It worked out.
I was the life
for
of the
best.
party, and they
Yeah.
missed me. But so yes, that's how I know Tammy.
Mm.
And so she went on. Okay, before we go into that question, what was your first impression of me?
Of you?
Yeah, Tammy was definitely like, I don't like this bitch.
No, we always, like, to this day in my family, we still say the way that Jamie introduced herself to us. So
I did not remember that.
yeah, even my dad to this day will call you that. I think
he
sometimes.
never said my name like Jamie.
Because Jamie goes, hi, my name's Jamie, like that, and we were like, hey, your name's what? Just very, very coloured, which we appreciate and we love because we're also coloured.
Okay, to be fair, we've had this conversation
Mm.
like 2 weeks ago, but if I do look back on videos of me when I was in school,
it was a lot. Is what you
Yeah.
could say.
yeah, I was very much into my culture,
Yeah.
which I still am.
Mm.
I just feel like
You've seen the world.
I've adjusted.
You're more cultured now. Yeah.
My English has improved.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas 14-year-old Jamie.
It's terrible.
Yeah. And
I
so,
can't imagine that. I don't remember introducing myself like that.
Mm.
I think they are exaggerating.
No, you did. No, we're
But-
definitely not. We're definitely not. My dad still says it to this day that's how she introduced herself. So I think it was more like I just thought you were really funny.
I was so real
You were so
compared
real.
to her other friends, if
Yeah.
I put it that way. I
Yeah.
feel like her other friends had the exact same personality as her,
Mm.
and then like she's throwing the spanner in the works. Like, who the hell?
I also think because we're both coloured, you were so you just
Authentic.
fit into our family as well.
Yeah.
Like you would straight away say, greet my parents as Auntie Lenore, Uncle Greg. And that's, I think we vibed with that so much because we could relate to that. So
I
when we
remember
meet
having that
coloured,
conversation
we
when
do
I
that
was younger as
Mm.
well, because like Britt, I think she had friends over and they were like on first name basis, and I'm like,
could never. To this day, I sometimes can't call like my friends' parents auntie and uncle, but
Yeah.
I can't call them by their names. So I'll
it's
just say,
just weird.
hello.
It is weird.
Or I'll say like mama something.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
make
yeah.
up a nickname.
I'm 31 years old and I still call your mom Auntie Lenore and
Exactly.
Uncle Greg.
Yeah.
It is weird.
And even now, being my age, I still would think it's weird if I met one of my friends'
And just
parents, and
say,
they're older
like,
than me, and just say hi.
Hey,
me."
Lenore.
Yeah. Hi, Susan. No, it's not for us. So I think that's why you fit in so well to our
Yeah.
family,
And
I
Haley
vibe
does
with that.
it. Haley, I raise her that she calls everybody auntie and uncle.
Yeah. And
Which
even
I
me,
think
I'm
in
like,
the States people are probably weirded out by it because it's not a thing. But I
people
just
get confused when I
Yeah.
keep saying auntie, auntie, auntie. They're like, how much family do you have? I'm like,
Yeah.
no, it's not actual aunties and uncles, or even like I'll say my cousins, but they're not
Yeah.
actually my cousins.
Yeah.
They're
it's just people we grew up
Yeah,
with. Yeah,
people
I
we
think
grew up
that's our culture and upbringing, which
Yeah.
It's just a respect barrier.
Yeah. So I did like you, but I do remember thinking, what the fuck?
I
Who
did
the
like
fuck?
you, but who is
But-
this stranger?
Yeah, who is
Can we
this
send
girl?
her back?
And then the more I got to know you, I was like, okay,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
do love her. We
Yeah.
do love her. Also, I think you were so close, and I think
Which is weird because we like only knew you for a year,
hmm,
but I
But you
also
and Britt were
am
so
probably
close.
the only friend that has come and visit Australia that much.
one of my
And,
friends.
Yeah, I
Sindor?
consider myself family.
Will not
Sindor.
come visit me, but that's okay. When I get married, she's coming.
We hope so.
We hope so.
Listen, when you live abroad and you have like special occasion, that's a make or break to see like
True.
who's true friends. Sindor,
Exactly. So,
I hope you're watching this. Start
you better be
saving
watching
now.
this. This is aimed at you.
Go and do your background check so you can pass your visa.
No, she will come. She will come.
No. So I've asked Tammy to come on the show because she was on season 9.
Also, just disclaimer: we're wearing bikinis, so if you can't see anything, it's a bikini.
It's a beach club.
It's a beach club. Mind your business.
Your eyes should be
Up
in,
here.
yeah. With Jimmy. Okay, we've spoken about this. Okay, tell me what was your thought process? Like, what made you feel like I'm gonna go on a reality show, but also like The Bachelor?
Honestly, I am a bit of a. I don't really think about things as much as I probably should, because I honestly didn't even think like, oh, you're going to be on TV. It's like a reality show.
Yeah.
There was always a running joke. So I don't have the best love life. Like, especially then, like that then, I was single my whole life. So like 3 years ago, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, I had never had a relationship, a proper relationship like before that. So there was always just a running joke that, oh, you're so single. I'm going to go on The Bachelor. I'm going to go on The Bachelor. Like, just always made a joke about that with my friends. And then one of my best friends actually works for Channel 10, which is the channel that produces The Bachelor. And she was like, Tamlyn, just do it. Just do it. Just do it for the
I'm
shits and
chasing the
giggles.
seagulls from our food.
Yeah, she was like, just do it for the shits and giggles. I'm like, you know what, why not? So then I went on and I did the application, didn't take it very seriously. It was just a bunch of questions, just answered it like quite nonchalantly. And then the last question was, you have to upload a photo of yourself and a video of why you want to go on The Bachelor. I said, definitely the fuck not. I'm not doing that. I hate my voice on camera. I'm just, that's so lame. That's so lame. I'm not doing that. So I just left it, and I didn't realize that it actually saves. And so the next day, one of the producers called me, and they were like, "We're very interested. Even if you upload a photo, like that's fine. Just put a photo of yourself." And then I was like, "Why not? If they've called me, and obviously I'm a people pleaser, so I was like, yeah, of course, no worries."
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And I kind of just kept making it through, and I really did not ever think I would get accepted.
What was the other stages after the application?
So after the application, then it was a Zoom meeting thing with other girls, and we were all in like this little chat room together, which I think is because of COVID. Like that's the reason.
Bro, we just got rid of the kid.
We're good. We're good. Well, Jamie decides to order a burger and chips. That's why they're here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's because it was COVID. I think that's why it had to be through Zoom.
Okay.
And then that was just also a little bit hectic. Like we were all there just like talking for like a solid like half an hour, like all the girls.
Okay.
And I think they were watching us while we were doing
You
it.
interact because you got to live in the same house.
Yeah. And also like what our personalities are. Because obviously you can put it on when you're talking to a producer. But yeah, so the actual like interview itself wasn't that long. And then at the end of the Zoom meeting, they were like, okay, 3 of you have made it through, and then they just literally like cut all the other ones off, which was so cutthroat. And then I was like, okay, cool.
Just like one by one, you see like a Zoom.
Just gone.
Oh my god, that would be
like the Avengers movie, like everyone just dying. That's what happened. I was like, okay, cool, I made it through. And then you had to go face to face to a hotel in whatever city you were from. So I was in Sydney. and then do like an interview with like a panel of like
Yeah.
producers, and then there was a camera. And
Were you
so
nervous?
for that, I actually shit myself. Like I shit myself, but I think I was very chilled as well because I didn't really care too much whether
Yes.
I got in or
I was
not.
about to say, I feel like your I don't care attitude is what would like make it so natural.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that was it. And like they were so honest. They were also, I had never watched The Bachelor before, so they were like, "Who's your favorite Bachelor?" I'm like, I don't know. So I don't know.
To be honest, like I've
I'm
never watched
dead ass
it.
honest, but I did see one. And I'm like, he's the hottest one,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we'll
yeah.
go with him. But I did tell them, I was like, look, I've never watched it.
Did you know who the guy was?
No.
Okay,
Definitely not.
so that's a surprise until like the end.
No, not even like until we get out of the limo. Like that's when we see him for the first time. Yeah, it's crazy. The producers did.
What if you don't like? It was like, thanks, give you a rose.
No, literally. The producers did like hype him up so much. They were like, "This is the best Bachelor we've ever had." Looking back, it's definitely not. Like I don't know why they said that. And they were hyping him up so much. They were like, "We've got such a good one this year, such a good one."
What did you really feel when you saw him? Because from knowing you from like growing up, I feel like he's professionally your type on paper, but in looks, he didn't scream Tammy to me.
No.
For me, I feel like your type is like bad boy-ish with tattoos.
Which is why my love life has been so shit. So he is what I should want, but not necessarily
Tammy goes for the red
what I want.
flags.
Literally, it's pink to me. They're pink flags. And then it gets to the last one, I'm like, oh, okay, it's definitely red. No, when I did, it's hard to say because so we went into a hotel to like quarantine for like 2-3 days before, and that's when they take your phone off you. You're literally just cut off. You can't watch the TV for anything. Yeah. And then the day we went in, the next day they announced it to Australia, like who the Bachelor was.
Okay.
And my family just said, like, when they saw that, they were like, oh, this is not her. This is not her. She's definitely not winning this. Yeah, she's definitely not going to come home with her husband. And then when I got out of the car, it's hard because I think when you're in that situation, there's 16 or 18 or however many girls there are and one guy, your competitive you
want to win in terms of like, imagine being the first person sent home.
Yeah,
it's shitty.
I would have dropped it. I'd be like, see you later. See you fucking later. If that happens to
I'll
me.
be like, I didn't sign an NDA.
I know. I will be telling everyone about everything you bitches do this episode. But that was my biggest fear, but I wasn't. So I didn't.
And wait, so I was having this conversation with my brother about like, imagine you're the first person sent home. The first round, it is only one person that gets sent home, or is it like, okay,
so at least you have a buddy.
It's okay, it's like okay, between us, who was really like the shittier one.
But it's wild because the two girls that got sent home, like one, obviously they're amazing and they're so cool, but one of them was like stunning, like a stunning girl. His type so much, like so similar to the winner. So, but she just did have like a little bit of a higher pitched voice, and I'm like, maybe that's what it was. I don't know, but I didn't really understand. Her dress was stunning, her body was stunning, like her hair, everything about her was beautiful. That's the only thing I can put it down to. Okay. But then I think when you get out, you're like your adrenaline is pumping because there's so many cameras, like. That sort of shit freaks me out. Which is why I said I didn't think about it all the time. I did not think this through because I do not even like recording myself because I don't like my voice on camera. So why the fuck would I go on a reality TV show? I don't know. But yeah, the adrenaline was pumping, and then I saw him, and he's not my typical type. But when I did speak to him, he made me feel so calm, and he was so beautiful. Yeah. And you have to do like a little gimmick when you're walking in. I don't really have many talents or many hobbies, so it took me a real long time.
That I watched, and Tammy was like, he's yummy.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
That's the only part that I watched.
I hate myself. And they didn't even show mine, so I thought mine was pretty good, but they didn't even show it.
I'm making sure we are recording. The seagull ate my food, guys. Yeah, that was funny
Yeah,
for
well, my
me.
gimmick was because I was big into my fitness journey back then.
Yeah.
I said that to the producer, and I was like, "That's the only really thing that I could think of to show like my personality or like what I like or what I enjoy doing." And so basically, I made him do burpees, and then my producer was like, "Well, what can you do to make that spicy?" And I'm like, "I don't know. You have to ask him to take off his shirt." But I'm like, what if he rejects me and he says no, and then I just look like a creep who's asking him to take off his shirt? The producer was like, no, he'd have to do it if you ask. So
Okay,
I
okay.
asked, and so I did. I said, do you want me? He said, he's like, oh, I don't know if I can do this in a suit. I'm like, well, no worries, babe. Take your shirt off. I'll hold it for you. And so he took off his shirt. And to be fair, he's got a very good body.
Okay.
So I think like the other girls maybe in their first interaction didn't see that. Like I do
And
love a
you
good
did.
body.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so I saw his body. That did make him like a little bit more attractive
Yeah.
to me. But to be fair, he's like the nicest guy. Like he
Oh,
is
that's
super,
nice.
super kind, and he like made me feel very calm. So
And the girl that he chose, they married, right?
they are
And
married.
they about to have a baby.
They just had a baby,
Okay.
apparently. My mother keeps telling me, I'm like, thank you so much for keep reminding me of my failure.
We love you,
in The
Auntie
Bachelor.
Lenore.
Yeah. She keeps, did you see? No, I didn't see, but thank you for telling me about it.
Do you still like not keep track, but like follow his life? Or
No, I
Okay.
don't. But like
And
I said,
her?
Lenore tells me
Okay.
everything.
Yeah.
So
That's like a
No.
mom's thing. I feel like,
yeah.
like my one friend that I interviewed as well, she's an ex-cheerleader for the Houston Texans.
Oh, soccer.
And her mom is more obsessed with her being in it. And
yeah. It's like proud moments,
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know why you'd be proud of me for being rejected, but a bit weird. But
And
it's
that's the
okay.
first thing they tell people as well. Oh, she was on The Bachelor. She got 4 roses. That was it. That was it.
She got rejected from The Bachelor, is what you should be saying.
I do feel like I do see you on reality shows. I feel like Love Island would be more of your go-to. Because I feel like Love Island is like you are your own person.
Yeah.
And also like you also ruthless in terms of, yeah, you can find love, but it's also like, do I just find somebody I get along with and we win this? And that's it.
For sure. And I also think having so many boys, I think the issue with The Bachelor for me is like when it comes to like men, I'm not a very competitive woman. Like I don't think
I know that.
Do you know what I mean?
Like it's either me or it's not.
Or it's not. And if it's somebody else, cool, go be with them. Like I don't like to compete for a man. So doing that's what the issue was, I think. And also I'm such a good, like I love my friends. And so when I became friends with all these girls, like interrupting chats and like pulling him for chats and bitching about them on camera was not
because just in general, like the rule is you wouldn't date your friend's ex
100%.
or you wouldn't like talk to the guy your friend's interested in, and now you have to do that.
You have to.
And from watching all these reality shows, like I do follow some people on TikTok after, and like the girls become super close.
Yeah, super close. You're living with them, like you see them more than you see him. Like essentially.
Yeah.
And also the producers, obviously they have a job to do. They need to create drama. So they're like, oh, what did you think about this girl? And I'm like, I love that for her. So it might have been a bit cringe, but she knew she. Like, and so it was really hard for me. And I genuinely think that's also why I wouldn't be good on The Bachelor, because I can't do that. Love Island, yes.
Because it's literally one guy. Love Island, you can still like, if you are interested in somebody and your friend is with that person, you can just be like, okay, you know what, the next opportunity that comes in.
Yeah, you can also get to know someone more organically, I think, on something like Love Island. Like you're not like pushed into a situation where you
there's a
have no
variety as well.
And a lot of the girls weren't like into him, unfortunately. But because we were just in the situation, you just kind of went with it.
Were they like recording moments? Do they actually like stop you and say like redo this, or it's just like cameras are rolling and whatever happens, and when they do the edits, that's
so it is like people always ask me like, do they tell you what to say and do you have like a script or whatever? And that's definitely not the case, but you do have your off days. And so obviously as girls, we're going to bitch on our off days, but then when you get mic'd and when you get recorded, you have to read it.
Mindful.
So it's maybe not as
okay.
organic, but they definitely don't tell us what to say.
So basically, maybe you bitch off camera and they say, "Hey, you know what you said yesterday?
Yes.
Can we just
Yeah,
can
or if you are
reiterate it?"
mic'd up and you're talking about something, they will say, "Stop talking about that. Wait," or we'll get a camera. Can you talk about it now?
Okay.
And then when you are put into groups, because they definitely do like pick girls that they want to be in a group and talking about stuff, which seemed to be me a lot. And I asked, I'm like, why am I doing so many of these? And they're just like, you're a really good talker. And like, you bring it out on like in the conversation, and when there's like awkward silences, you just keep talking. Okay. So really, I'm the narrator.
Really, she stayed till the 4th rows because they needed her to.
Literally, I probably would have been out in the first one if it wasn't for that. Yeah, they pick the girls and then they say, okay, what happened last night? Go.
Well, I like that. I feel like that's still organic. I feel like I've obviously heard like, and I think this is just rotten tomatoes. That's what they say, that have left the shows early or wanted to like go viral afterwards, where they kind of blame the producers for certain things. Like I love watching Love Is Blind, and like there's always stuff that comes out afterwards about like the producers made them do this and they were only drinking alcohol, so they were drunk and blah, blah, blah. But I just feel like I don't think it would be that inhumane in terms of like basically like depriving you from eating and just getting you drunk.
Look, the first night I will say was actual torture. Like it was torture. So we got up at 8 in the morning and then we left the hotel. We went to then go and like basically start. And so we got ready, we did our hair and makeup. It was, you could only really record or do a dinner party at night. So we had to wait till like 8-9 o'clock to record.
Okay.
And then we were up until maybe 4 a.m. like filming. Then you had to go and be up at 7 and then put on the whole same outfit. Because I think the only people realize that the first night is recorded over 2 nights. So you get dressed in the same outfit, same makeup, and then so you're starting your day again from 7 a.m. and that's when you're like,
you feel it.
You feel it because you're so sleep deprived, and then they're asking you to do voxies and record all this stuff, and you really are not into it. And then you're still your second night, so you're still worried about how you're going to be perceived or how you look and that sort of thing. But other than that, it was fine.
I guess as the time goes on, you just get like a fuck it attitude, like, oh, I'm being recorded, it is what it is.
I think if I was maybe there for longer, I would have felt like that. But I was very aware of how you can be edited and how you can look. And
were you happy that you left as early as you did?
Yeah, definitely.
Because he wasn't.
Because he wasn't for me. I wasn't like, I genuinely did go on. I know this sounds like silly, and you're gonna be like, shut the fuck up, you liar. But I genuinely did want to do it in the hope that I find love, because I am in that. I was and I am in that point of my life where I do want to settle down with somebody. Yeah. And
maybe that was your calling.
Yeah. And I also know that I'm not. No, it's fine.
It's so loud.
I also know that I've always known that I'm not like an influencer, Instagram kind of.
Well, that's what
girl.
Yeah, I believe that because I feel like you came off of it and you didn't care about getting thousands of followers.
Yeah.
Like if people followed you, they followed you, but you didn't make videos about what happened in the house, like nasty videos, good videos.
No.
Like you were just like, okay, I'm out now, and it is what it is.
I'm just all for the friends now. Like, just wanted to join the WhatsApp group where we all talked about him and that sort of thing. That's what I cared about more.
So after the show, those that left stayed in contact.
100%, yeah.
Was there off-scene drama after you left?
So it's funny actually. So I know I didn't say anything bad in that group chat, but some girls did say some bad things, which is so normal. Like I think it was very dramatized. Is that the word? Dramatized.
I don't know.
Dramatized.
Yeah. I mean, you get the picture.
Cut that up. It was very dramatized about how our chat was, but I'm like, come on, girls. Like, who isn't in a group chat with their friends? And when you break
and you
up,
talk about it,
you're like, he's ugly, he looks like a foot.
And generally, there's probably girls that like really fell for him.
Yeah, 100%. And also, like, you just got rejected from, and you not only got rejected from a guy, you got rejected from
And
like
the whole world
TV, the
can
whole
see
world's
it.
going to see
Yeah.
your rejection. Obviously, we were all a little bit salty, and we all were wanting to just have a laugh.
And that's normal.
Yeah, and really all it was
Yeah.
just a bunch of girls having a bit of a laugh because we all got collectively broken up with, essentially. But then when one, we don't know exactly who it is, but then when one girl did get added, she apparently
leaked it
to him. And I'm
what
like,
did she
why?
think? Like she was gonna get, you know what? Yes, a rose. Come back.
Yeah, literally. Or she was going to be in his circle. I don't know, and I don't know who it was, but yeah, she showed him. But also, I just think that's quite cruel to him because you know exactly what it is. Yeah, it's just girls having a little bit of a bitch because we got broken up with, and she showed him, which then that got publicized, and so then he had an opinion on that, which is fair enough. Like, I do feel bad that he saw that and he had to see those things that were said about him. Like, it wasn't horrible.
But again, I feel like that's fair.
Yeah.
Anybody does it.
Everybody does it. And like, is it the best thing to do? Definitely not. But we're all human.
Yeah,
we're
I
all
mean,
girls.
guys do it as well.
Exactly.
Let's be honest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you're not a part of a group chat, like, you either have no friends or you're with or you're like. So
just putting it out there, like, what do you do when you go through a breakup? Like, how do you vent? How do you, like, breakups?
You tell your mom about it at least?
Like, breakups have these stages, like, sad and lonely, and then you vent, and then it's like the anger stage. Like, what do you do?
And when you're sad, it's like, don't talk. None of my friends better talk bad about him. But when you're angry, if you don't bitch with me about him and how ugly he is, then you're not my friends.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
that did get leaked, and that did cause some drama. But I genuinely believe that our season had the least amount of drama, which is probably why it did so shit, to be honest. Why the ratings weren't the best. So yeah, but
would you do it again? To be fair, I feel like maybe if you did like the Bachelor US, it would be different. Because I've watched like Love Island Australia, and I don't know. I feel like it's just, I can't explain. I feel like it's not real. Like, there's no drama. I feel like people know they're on camera and like everything is fake about it.
Yeah.
Whereas like when I watch like the UK Love Island versus the US Love Island, US Love Island maybe took me like a little to get into, but
UK
I
is
just can't get into Australian reality TV.
There's nothing that will compete with UK. I think though they're casting the wrong kind of girls. I think you need to cast girls that are cutthroat and that do not care about other girls. Or not care, but like a lot of these girls are going on for the clout and to
I was about to say get
following.
Famous and to become like viral.
Yes. Whereas if you're genuinely going on for love, that's all you're going to care about, and that's what's going to concern you.
And yes, you want to make friends, but also 100%. Like, I'm not here to make a friend.
Exactly. And I think that's what the US Bachelor, they all say. They're like, I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to make friends. I was like, I'm definitely here to make friends as well. Especially because like he's not my cup of tea. So friends is the way it's going to have to go.
I feel like maybe it's because even though Australia is big, I feel like it's considered like a small town. So it's like if you go on the show and you make a fool of yourself, but you have to live with that, and everybody knows. Whereas like in the UK and the US, personality-wise, first of all, these are people that I don't give a shit what you think about me. And also, it's a big wide world out there. If I do it, it goes viral. Who cares? And I live with it. Like,
I definitely think now, if I was my age now, I would be better at it because I think I care less.
That was my next question. Would you do it again? Maybe not The Bachelor, but a reality love show.
Now I say I make jokes. So it's another joke that might lead into another reality show. I would love to go on Maths because, like,
what's that?
Married at First Sight. So you get married to someone when you're walking
you
down
would be
the aisle.
Ruthless if you saw that man and he was not what you wanted.
I know, but then also like he's.
I think love is blind. I think love is blind because then you're still dating somebody and you kind of hear who they are.
And that I think would suit me so much because I genuinely am not as attracted to people's looks anymore. Like I really don't care how you look.
Their personality.
If you are a 2,
you heard it here, guys. First,
if you've got a 10 out of 10 personality, too, hit me up. If you're a 2 and you've got an amazing personality, you're a 10. And if you're a 10 and you have the shittest personality, you're a 2. Like you're not for me. So maybe Love is Blind would be
Yeah,
would
I
be
think,
good.
I'm not too sure about Married at First Sight because you know absolutely nothing about the guy.
Absolutely.
And I do feel like both independent women to independent women, you would not be happy with a guy who's like,
That's
oh,
true.
I'm winging it.
True.
So, like, imagine like a 32-year-old and you're
Yeah.
about to say I do, and he's like, yeah, I'm a server, or
Yeah.
it has not that that's bad,
Yeah.
but let's say it like this, like he has no ambition.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
would drive you
Yeah,
insane.
that would. And I definitely also think, I say that, but I don't think I could do maths because I do value marriage quite highly.
Yeah.
And like getting married to somebody that just I know nothing about is definitely not.
Yeah.
I didn't think about love.
Whereas Love is Blind, you still have the option at the end to say yes or no. So you get to know this person blindly, and then you live with them.
But do you not
and
think
then
that
you
if you
get
say
married.
no to somebody, you're like the biggest bitch in the world?
Well, to be fair, they have
People are like,
they have like a month to prove to you, like, which I think that you can fall in love with somebody within a month. Like I married Francis after 6 months.
did you?
Yeah,
6 months.
proposed as an actual proposal after just a year of dating.
Wow.
So we were already married, and then COVID hit, and we were like, well, okay, we postponed our wedding twice now.
Yeah.
You know, at this point, it is what it is.
I think it changes. So I strongly believe that it depends on the kind of person that you are. So if you're a kind of person that maybe doesn't jump from guy to guy to guy to guy, you've only had either one or two serious proper relationships, I think you maybe value relationships in a different way.
I would say that
And
that
so,
was my case.
yeah, you can then say, no,
Yeah.
I 100% know this is the man
Yeah.
that I'm going to marry.
But also, I think our upbringing, like our culture, taught us like, oh, you have to date long, and then you get engaged, and then you get married. And then
yeah.
when I moved out of South Africa, like I met people who was like, oh, I'm engaged, and I was like, yeah, but you guys have been dating for 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
And I think like there is no time frame. I do feel like if you feel it, it's there.
I think when you know, you know. Like people say that, and like it's
no,
so
it's
corny,
so
but it
true.
is. When
It
you know,
really
you know.
is true.
And I think the issue though in Australia is that, I don't know if this is controversial or not, but people are now, I think, just doing things and like having babies, and just because it's the next step, not because they genuinely actually know, but there's such like a societal pressure on us to be going down that route.
But it's the same as us. Like the minute we had a kid, everybody's like, when are you having number two? When you're having number two? Because that's like the
next
norm.
thing to do.
But like for us, it's like, no, I'm enjoying to travel. I'm enjoying like she's at a perfect age to be by herself, but also be with us. And it's like, you know, if we one and done, we one and done. Like, why do we have to settle to
also
like
shames
the
people
time
that
frame.
just has one child? Like,
yeah.
what is wrong with just having
What
one
is?
child?
I know.
100%. But yeah, I don't know if I would do another reality show again. I think I had a good run because it didn't hurt my ego that badly. I didn't get heartbroken. Whereas if that happened to me, I think I'd feel maybe a little bit differently about it.
Maybe if you went further.
If I went further, and I genuinely got hurt and upset because I was really, really good friends, or I really am good friends with the girl that was the runner-up, and it really, really got her. And
because
really
the thing is,
her.
it's not about looks at that point. It's like I was not good enough. Like I believe that you were feeling what I felt as well.
And also, The Bachelor's a bit hectic because I feel like on Love Island, you can kind of see what's happening. You can see people talking to each other. On The Bachelor, you don't, or what I would assume is he wouldn't be talking to the two main girls about each other or telling them where they're up to. He would literally just be giving his all to that girl, and then he breaks up with you, like out of the blue, which is really horrible.
And on Love Island, like you're more inclined to call out somebody's bullshit. Be like, oh, he kissed me upstairs, and like somebody that has your back is like, oh no, I saw them, or he told me this. Whereas
The Bachelor, you kind of just know that he's
go on
kissing
secret
everybody,
dates, and
it just is what it is. You just have to be okay with it. But yeah, maybe Love Island. But being in a bikini all day, no, not for me.
I feel like I always only ever see you in a bikini.
Shut up.
But Love is Blind 2026.
Hit me
Watch
up.
out.
Hit me up. Is Love is Blind in Australia though?
I don't know. Probably. There probably is.
First
but
season.
just do a US one.
And then I can move to the US.
Yeah, you see? Leave Australia. Well, you heard it here first, guys. Wild Foods Podcast.
I know.
We are going to go enjoy our food that the seagulls have not eaten and get more
and get
drink.
another drink because
Yeah, Tammy down hers. Cheers, babe.
Cheers.